Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. Cardano, another update because I think there are a few interesting things in the charts here that have developed recently that I have not mentioned before, and that might indicate now another reversal to the upside. So we are here currently, and I go to the 4-hour chart. And obviously we have moved up recently from the low from 75 cents, broke out of that descending wedge that I still have on the chart here in orange. Yeah. So the price broke above that descending wedge we broke out, then moved above the 50-day moving average, and then I made you aware here that we had a descending, a bearish divergence on the 4-hour chart. I think we also saw it on the 8-hour chart, then broke below the ascending trend line and then came back to the dollar level as expected. I talked about a potential descending, inverse head and shoulders that could be forming here, and that is really something that could be forming now. The reason I say that, and that would be a very, very interesting reversal pattern. And then we have our eyes on the 125, 126 level, because this would be the neckline. And we could then look at a potential price target of certainly, let's actually measure that. Let's take the height of the head, go to the potential breakout point. And yeah, that could take us roughly, but could take us to around 177, 180. And that would be nice. I'm sure everybody would love that. So I think this is another interesting possibility to load up the bags. Again, no financial advice. It's all up to you. I can only be a guide here. I can't really tell you when to buy or not. This is entirely up to you. It's your hard-earned money, and TA can only really give you a guide. It's no crystal ball really. But what is so interesting here, what we can see on the chart is basically two things. So one is that while we saw a bearish divergence up here, which the RSI, so we saw that on the RSI, and the RSI is the momentum indicator, measures who's stronger, the bulls or the bears. And when you have a bearish divergence, it just shows you that the bears are getting stronger, the sellers are getting stronger. Now, take a look what we can now see here on the 4-hour chart. This is currently something that is emerging for various cryptocurrencies. We see a bullish divergence, indicating that the buyers are getting stronger. So while we are still making lower lows on the price charts, we nevertheless see that the bulls are getting stronger, indicating, and why is that the case? Well, that is the case, first of all, we're coming towards a support level, but also it means that the downtrend is just slowing down. So that's a good potential sign. And yeah, this is one thing. So let me take that line out. So we see that bullish divergence on the 4-hour chart, which could indicate a reversal to the upside. Now, what else do we see? Well, in addition to that, as we see it so often when we have a bullish divergence, we see a descending wedge here on the 4-hour chart. You can see the same, of course, on the 1-hour chart. And again, that would be more likely than not to be breaking out to the upside. You have seen something very, very similar here. Yeah, and I highlighted it in white, but you've seen something very, very similar here in small. Also exactly the same thing, where you also saw a bullish divergence, very, very similar fractal here, where eventually then you broke out, had another accumulation. And look how beautiful that is, because this also was a very round shape. You now get the same thing here, very, very similar. I mean, look at these two fractals here, this one and this one. They look very, very similar. And this was a corrective one. So here we turned around in a nice and round accumulation shape, moved up. And this could also become the same pattern, the same move, where we are going to break here out and then form a nice round shape and start to move up, and then really form that inverse head and shoulders that we already talked about. Would be very interesting. I would love that, because we come down now to that $1 level. The $1 level anyway is a very, very relevant and very important level. Now, not only that, what else did I want to show you? One more thing. We go to the 8-hour chart. We can actually, there's a different way of drawing all of this here. Yeah, not as a channel, but all of this, what happened here, can actually be drawn as a wedge pattern. So it took me a moment to figure that out. And it's not the most beautiful wedge, I have to acknowledge that. But again, a huge descending wedge here as well. Again, not the most beautiful one, a bit of a messy one, but we could potentially see this, what we are currently doing here on the, depending on how I draw it. All right. But depending on how we see this, we could potentially, what we're currently doing here, which is coming down, and maybe we come a little bit lower, maybe we come even to that 96 cent level, yeah. but it could be a retest of that wedge. So we broke out of it. Yeah, you could see it like that. And we're currently coming down and retest. So we're retesting anyway, that $1 level. Very, very interesting and very important what's currently going on here on the Cardano chart. And this could be a forecast for a potential reversal now to the upside. Yeah. So even when Bitcoin broke below that 42.7K, in my opinion, that fight isn't lost yet. I think Bitcoin can still push higher. We are currently, just below that 42.7, but Bitcoin hardly moves, very little volume. The bulls aren't giving up yet. And if Bitcoin pushes back above 42.7, then I think Cardano really has a chance to move to that next major resistance, which will be that 125, 126 level, which is also the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. And we could form this beautiful inverse head and shoulders. Well, that's not as beautiful as I drew it here just now, but you know what I mean. So that will be interesting. Looking forward to that. I'll definitely keep you updated. And yeah, I think we might see a reversal here. Of course, not guaranteed. I can only give you a momentary snapshot of the chart, of course. And it is, of course, only one signal or two signals here. We've got a descending wedge. We've got that Fibonacci level that I told you in the previous video, where we're coming down to the $1 level. We talked about that $1 level not only because it has been a previous support and because it has been a psychological level. Yeah. No, because as well, we talked about the Fibonacci retracement levels from that move. And you can see that the 50% Fibonacci retracement level of that impulse to the upside here, that potential impulse, is exactly at $1. So yeah, this is looking really, really interesting. Chart that is exciting, even though it seems a bit boring at the moment. No, it's actually quite exciting, I think. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.